Hello everyone and welcome to another TT announcement video. We know you've been eagerly awaiting to see what new models are joining the TT range. So in this video, myself and the latest member of the Hornby team, Nick, our researcher, will be running down all of those new models joining the TT range. We've got some reliveries and some new tooling. Bit of housekeeping, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our videos. All you have to do is click the subscribe button down below. We've got a few to get through and we're going to be starting with a brand new train set. Adding to our TT train set lineup, we have the Royal Scot train set. This set includes a highly detailed model of a Coronation class steam locomotive, 3 colourful coaches, oval starter track and controller. The Royal Scot was a named passenger train, like the Flying Scotsman, which began officially in 1927 and ran between London and Glasgow. Over its many years of operation, the service saw a variety of traction from the aptly named Royal Scot class and LMS Streamlined Coronation class to the modern image Class 90s and Class 390 Pendolino EMUs. Inside the box you'll find everything you need to get started, including a BR Princess Coronation 46232 Duchess of Montrose, BR Corridor First Class Coach, Corridor Third Class Coach, Full Brake Coach and etched Royal Scot headboard and coach boards. Alongside this, you have a third radius oval of track with siding, DC train controller, wall plug transformer, power connecting track, re-railer and instructions to help you get up and running.
We are excited to present the latest addition to the TT120 steam locomotive family, the iconic Stanya 5MT Black 5. Utilising the expertly researched and highly accurate CAD from its 00 gauge cousin, and available in either DCC ready or sound fitted format, this brand new LMS mixed traffic workhorse is sure to make an impression on any TT120 layout. First up is TT3068M and TT3068TXSM, depicting number 5408 in late 1930s LMS black livery with red lining and shaded gold lettering and numerals. This particular example has a riveted smokebox door, high smokebox steam lance, flush buffer beam, capped top feeds and welded tender. Number 5408 was one of 327 Black 5s constructed by Armstrong Whitworth and entered service in 1937 and lasted well into British Railways ownership, finally being withdrawn as 45408 in 1966. Next we have TT3069M and TT3069TXSM, which is number 45315 in British Railways mixed traffic lined black livery, with early cycling line emblem on the tender. Unlike the earlier LMS versions, this has a riveted buffer beam. Number 45315 was built by Armstrong Whitworth in 1937 and received its BR number in June 1949, spending its working life for BR in the northeast at Carlisle, Preston and Crewe, before a fairly early withdrawal in 1963. The final 5MT in this month's launch is TT3070M and TT3070TXSM, number 45446, in British Railways mixed traffic line black livery, with the later lion and wheel crest on the tender. This example has no smokebox steam lance and features AWS equipment. Number 45446 was also built by Armstrong Whitworth in 1937 and spent its BR career in the Midland region at Aston, Crewe and Stoke-on-Trent. Withdrawal came in 1967, 18 months before the end of steam on BR.
Hot off the heels of the first run of J50s arriving, Hornby is pleased to present further examples of this useful tank engine. Moulded in both die-cast and plastic, this characterful loco is sure to look and perform excellently thanks to all-wheel pickups and a smooth coreless motor. We're bringing you 2 more J50s in the form of number 68958 in BR black livery with early emblems on the tank sides and number 600 in LNER black livery with red shaded gold lettering and numerals. We're delighted to announce a further run of the popular Tyrrell steam locomotive, utilising the all-new and highly accurate tooling suite from 2025. This beautiful presentation of the ever-popular class perfectly captures the character of the prototype. We have 3 new Terriers coming to the range. Number 655 Stepney in London Brighton South Coast Railway, improved engine green. Number 735 in London and South Western Railway lined green livery, and finally number 10 in Isle of Wight Central Railway lined maroon livery.
The newest addition to the TT120 diesel locomotive family is one that has been much requested: the British Railways Type 2, Class 30 and 31, built by Brush Traction. This brand new, highly detailed tooling covers the extensive history of the gargoyles, from skinhead examples from the late 50s to modern Class 31s retrofitted with high-intensity lights and NRN roof pods. This exciting new range of Type 2s will be available in either DCC ready or sound-fitted format. Our first Type 2 to be announced is TT3071M and TT3071TXSM, depicting a Class 30, numbered D5502, in BR green with duck egg blue stripes. As an early Merlise engined Type 2, D5502 is fitted with indicator headcode discs and has a skinhead flush roof. It also features a toffee apple cab style, Merlise roof exhaust, side steps, oil filler, water filler, open boiler port, and has no side door louvers. As part of the initial 20 Type 2s built, D5502 was unique in having duck egg blue body stripes, which differed to the cream band that appeared on later versions. It was delivered to the Eastern region, where it spent its working life, before withdrawal from mainline service in 1980, as TOPS number 31002. However, its story does not end there, as for the next 4 years, 31002 was used as a train heating unit, sporting the departmental number ADB 968014. Next up is TT3072M and TT3072TXSM, and this one is sure to appease the BR Blue diesel fans out there. 31270 is adorned in the corporate BR Blue livery with double arrows and a Tinsley shed code sticker. It sports a glazed headcode panel with domino markers, plated front door, later cab style, English electric exhaust, plated side steps and water filler, open oil filler and door louvers. The loco was withdrawn in May 2000 but was later preserved and is currently based at Didcot Railway Centre and named Athena. Moving into BR sectorisation now, and TT3073M depicts 31237 in BR Rail Freight Grey with large double arrows and sole bar red stripe. As an example of the 31 in later years, after certain modifications were made, 31237 features plated headcode panels, side steps, oil filler, water filler and boiler port. Number 31237 received the new standardised Rail Freight Grey livery in 1986, albeit with the slight variation of having a red stripe along the sole bar, which a number of Rail Freight diesels carried. Lastly, TT3074M, number 31219, is adorned in the BR Civil Engineers departmental grey and yellow livery, also commonly referred to as the Dutch paint scheme. Similarly to 31237, number 31219 has had the side steps, filler openings and boiler port plated over, but sports a high intensity light on the nose ends and NRN roof pod above each cab. 31219 was repainted into the recognisable Dutch livery in the late 80s and was used on departmental services until withdrawal in 2000.
The Class 50 was the first mainline diesel locomotive we announced in TT Gauge and has been a huge hit with modelers ever since. So we're excited to present two further Hoovers featuring a 5-pole motor, directional and cab lighting, die-cast chassis and highly detailed body shells. We have pre-tops numbered D403 in all over BR blue with small cab side, BR double arrows and headcode panels, and tops numbered 50026 Indomitable in BR blue with large double arrow logos, plated headcode panels and high intensity light. The iconic and highly demanded English Electric Class 37 returns, including all the same great features presented on the releases late last year, such as working lights, weighty die-cast chassis and optional body shells depending on the subclass. Two new options will be joining the range. Number 37413 Loch Eel Outward Bound in Transrail triple grey livery, complete with Transrail company logos, and number 37254 driver Robin Prince MBE in retro BR Intercity Swallow livery. For our Class 43 fans, we are happy to announce a first Great Western Class 43 train pack. The pack includes 43136 and 43189 Railway Heritage Trust in first Great Western green, gold and white livery. We have a further two new colourful identities of the ever-popular BR Class 08 shunting diesel engine. Featuring a die-cast chassis, cordless motor, all-wheel drive and immaculate paint application. Number 08593 or D3760 in retro BR lined purple livery, complete with cycling line, early emblem and named Colchester TMD, as per 1990s condition when based at either Colchester or Ipswich. We also have number 08499 in early 2000s corporate EWS maroon and gold livery, whilst allocated to depots in the southwest of England.
The first new rolling stock tooling for this announcement are the HBA, HEA and MEA 4-axle coal wagons. Originally built in the 1970s, the HBA and HEA were designed to transport domestic coal to urban areas, differing to the classic merry-go-round hoppers which took coal directly to power stations. Owing to a lack of work during the 1990s, a large percentage of the HEA fleet were converted into MEAs, with the hopper chute and sloped bodies making way for a reinforced open box design. Just like the HEA, the MEA was used to convey coal to domestic sites, as well as other bulk materials like scrap or ballast. Often seen running in long block rakes or mixed into Speedlink rail freight services, the HBA, HEA and MEA are perfect for late sectorisation and post-privatisation era layouts, running behind classic locos like 37 and 66. First in the lineup is TT6072, depicting an as-built HBA-coded wagon, in BR bauxite and numbered 360626. Being a HBA in original condition, the model features the earlier style of suspension, which limited the real wagons to only 45 miles an hour. TT6073 and TT6076 are examples of HEA-coded wagons in BR Rail Freight red and grey livery. The single HEA is numbered 360587 and the triple pack includes 360531, 360575 and 361303. As HEAs, they sport up-rated Bruninghouse suspension which allowed a higher top speed of 60 miles an hour. TT6075 is our first MEA and portrays number 391020 in train load freight, coal sector grey and yellow, which adorned MEA wagons during the early 1990s. 83 MEAs were converted before the start of privatisation, and they spent most of their early lives between Welsh collieries and Newport docks. TT6074 and TT6077 depict MEAs in the classic maroon and gold livery of EWS, with the single pack numbered 391456 and the triple pack numbered 391340, 391434 and 391569. After taking control of Load Haul, Mainline and Transrail in 1996, EWS inherited the entire fleet of MEA wagons and placed an order for nearly 400 more to be converted. In total, 641 MEAs were created, making them a key component in the EWS fleet. The second newly tooled rolling stock we are delighted to announce are the departmental Sea Cow and Sea Lion bogie hopper wagons. A mainstay of engineering trains for many years, these hopper wagons would transport and deposit fresh ballast on top of newly laid track via the chute located between the bogies, and could be seen operating with a huge variety of locomotive traction over their lifetime. These fishy wagons are sure to be a staple of your TT120 wagon pool for many years to come. Initially, the Sea Lions built in the 1970s were painted olive green, and that livery adorns TT6065 and TT6067, the latter being a triple pack. The single pack is numbered DB982792, and the triple pack features DB 982786, 88 and 91. The TOPS code of YGH indicates that these sea lines were dual braked for the most operational flexibility across regions. A decade later, in the 1980s, the sea cow design was implemented, which featured a welded body and Y27 bogies, and were initially painted in Civil Engineers' Dutch grey and yellow livery. TT6063 and TT6066 are adorned in this scheme, with the single pack numbered DB980100 and the triple pack numbered DB980049, 62 and 74. The TOPS code of YGB denotes that the wagon is air braked but also has a vacuum through pipe. During the 1980s, the existing Sea Lion fleet was repainted into Dutch grey and yellow, and TT6064, number DB982838, depicts one of these such vehicles. The final sea cow on offer is TT6062, number DB980076, in EWS maroon and gold livery, coded YGA. A large proportion of the sea cow fleet entered the ownership of EWS and lasted well into the 2010s, often seen behind Class 37s and 66s.
Few railway designs are as recognisable or numerous as the private owner 3, 5 and 7 plank open wagons from the early 1900s. Our models cover the 7-plank design, which often featured the most vibrant and interesting brandings. 3 7-plank wagons are joining the TT range. The first is an example in the ownership of Arthur Wharton Limited, a coal and coke merchant operating in the Yorkshire area during the 1920s and 30s, with the running number 3018. The next being owned by Frederick Cotton Mortimer, who was a coal trader in the Somerset and Forest of Dean area, and finally one owned by A&H Betts, who operated as coal traders for many years in the 1900s in South London, hence the Stewart's Lane branding. This carries running number 45. Our highly detailed and popular TT120 TTA tanker returns with a new livery offering in the form of Amico, a single TTA tanker depicting number 57502 in Procore Amico grey livery, which ran during the 1980s when Procore UK Limited took over the BRT operations and began branding their wagons with the new name. And we also have a triple pack which includes numbers 57484, 57485 and 57486 in Procore Amico grey livery as well. We're pleased to present a further 2 examples of the TT120 KFA container wagon, covering further examples in 2-ax blue livery, conveying vibrant and distinctive shipping containers. KFA number 93374 in 2-ax blue livery with SCI 20-foot container, GE 20-foot tank tainer and bulk haul 20-foot tank tainer. And KFA number 93458 in 2-ax blue livery with Bell 20-foot container and Genstar 40-foot container. The covered ventilated van was an extremely common sight across the country during the time of the Big Four and early British railways, with each of the 4 and BR themselves building thousands to various designs with the intention that they would carry all manner of goods. We have 2 new vent vans on the way. The first is an example of a ventilated van in bauxite brown livery, adorned with Fifes labels and banana marking, numbered B880681, and the second depicts an LMS grey example with the running number 581932. We have new 12-ton tank wagons to add to your collection, this time in the silver power livery from the early 20th century, and available separately or as a triple pack. Available on its own is number 115 in power petroleum silver, and the triple pack includes 3 12-ton tank wagons in power petroleum silver, numbered 118, 119 and 120. The CDA China clay hopper wagon rejoins the TT120 range in the long-lasting EWS silver and maroon livery of the 2000s. Available separately or in a triple pack. On its own we have number 375071 in EWS maroon and silver livery, and the triple pack includes number 375072, number 375073 and number 375074, also in EWS maroon and silver livery. The HAA merry-go-round coal hopper wagon rejoins the TT120 range, this time in the popular train-load freight coal sector yellow livery of the 1980s and 90s. Available separately or in a triple pack, sold as a single model is number 350412, in TLF coal sector livery, and the triple pack includes number 350428, 350472 and 350468, also in TLF coal sector livery. Capture the elegance of luxury train travel with the K-type Pullman cars. Available as either a third-class brake or first-class kitchen, the steel-bodied Pullmans are exquisitely designed models with crisp moulded body shells, detailed interiors and working table lamps. These new offerings of first-class kitchen, named Fingal, and third-class brake, number 209, are perfect for pairing with previous runs of Pullman coaches and could easily run behind a 1940 steam locomotive or a modern Class 50 or 66 on a charter train. We are delighted to announce a new example of the Class 43 HST Mark III trailing coaches in the first Great Western green, gold and white scheme from the early 2000s. Each Mark III vehicle has been meticulously researched and features correct tooling depending on the type and has been expertly adorned with accurate colours and typefaces, as well as featuring coach lettering. This collection of Mark III coaches includes 2 tourist firsts, a tourist restaurant buffet, 4 tourist second and a tourist guard second. The BR Mark I coach family includes some of the most successful designs in railway history. With thousands constructed and lasting from the early 50s right up until the present day, we're delighted to present several new examples in the ubiquitous and well-travelled BR blue and grey livery. This collection of Mark I coaches includes 2 composite corridor coaches and a brake second corridor, representing 3 different regions. We have Eastern with running numbers E15712, 15746 and 35266. Midland, including running numbers M15842, 15848 and 35147. And finally, Western with running numbers W15795, 15811 and 34916. The charming and distinctive four-wheel coach returns with new guises this time, covering operations in the south of England during the late 1800s and early 1900s. We have 4 coaches in London and South Western Railway lined salmon and brown livery, including first class brake and third class passenger brake. We also have 3 coaches representing the Isle of Wight Central Railway in lined teak livery, including a first class, third class and brake third class. And last but by no means least, we have a new building joining the TT lineup in the form of a country cottage. Typical of a dwelling nestled along a country lane, this half-rendered, half-brick cottage is highly detailed, comes pre-painted and is fitted with separate glazed windows and gutter piping. A great selection of TT models there. Do let us know in the comments below what your favourite one was or what you'd like to maybe see in the future as well. Don't go anywhere because we're going for a live Q&A now where we're going to answer some of your questions. We're also going to be talking about those new tooling and we'll be showing off a couple of new development samples. So stick around, grab a cuppa quickly because we are about to have a live Q&A.
Good morning everyone and welcome to the Hornby TT120 April Spring range announcement. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us today for the live Q&A. We'll be taking some of your questions later. We've already been looking at the comments throughout the video. We hope you've enjoyed the video so far with the great detail that Mike and Nick have pulled together in talking about the range. This is the big one of the year, so there's lots of exciting things in there. Firstly, intros. I'm Martin. I've done a few of these before, so I probably don't need much introductions.
likewise with Sam. We've seen Sam, he crops up a lot of places.
Yes, the
Sam?
first time on live though, so...
Is it really
yes,
your
it's
first
first time
is
on
it?
live,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Does it feel any different?
Well, no, not
Good.
yet. It might be strange towards the end.
You'll be absolutely fine. You've spent so much time on the camera. And very exciting, we've got a new member of the team, Nick, who's our latest recruit to the Hornby team. His role is actually a product researcher and content creator. So welcome, and welcome to your first Hornby YouTube Live. Yeah. Tell everyone a bit more about what you do.
So my job, I'm a product researcher and content creator, and my job is basically to help Sam and the other designers, as well as the artwork team, in ensuring the products are as accurate as possible and doing all the research that goes before the design stage and the artwork stage. So it's fairly involved, and it's been a lot of fun so far. And from a marketing point of view, I've been reintroducing the Engine Shed blog and a few of the website articles as well. So I've been doing a bit of written content for the team as well.
So this is obviously very much your first kind of, I suppose, public outing in a digital sense. You've done a couple of events with the team already. So, but that's a key point there about that you've written some of the blog stuff. So a lot of your work has already probably been consumed by some of the audience today. And yeah, it's just really key, I think, to have people like Nick join along with Sam to talk about the new products. Because often it's often myself and Mike also does the videos, and Carl, but we're quite a big team at Hornby, and we like to kind of get as many people as involved and in having the opportunity to talk about the things that they've been particularly working on. And on that note, what have you enjoyed the most so far since your short time at Hornby?
Yeah, it's only been 4 months. I started in January, but I've already been on a few research trips. They're always really, really fun.
Don't tell them what they are.
Oh, I can't. No, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Sam have been out a few places. It's been just great to go and see the real things, take photos, talk to people in the industry. Start crawling underneath and through things. That's always good fun. Just the initial kind of excitement of talking about new products to do and discussing with Sam and yourself or what we should do next. And I think it's kind of a mixture of everything I find interesting, really. It's kind of hard to place it to one thing.
I think it is a very exciting job role, isn't it? Because it's all about the new stuff. Everyone's tuned in today to hear about new stuff. It's also quite difficult. You think actually what we're talking about now or the projects you're working on, you don't sort of talk about the wrong things that we're working on for pipeline, because obviously there's lots of things in the pipeline. But you're not new to the industry because you've obviously worked in and around model railways for 4 years. But you've been a railway modeller since a child. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. My dad and my granddad were also railway modellers. My dad was a civil engineer, so he was always building the real railways, then coming home and helping us build a model railway as well. So me and my two brothers were basically indoctrinated into the hobby, and I've kind of been a fan ever since. I do a bit of railway photography as well, so going out and photographing the real things and filming the real things, that's another hobby of mine. So it all ties together, really.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps from a kind of modern perspective, seeing what's out there and what we could do from a modern perspective.
That's brilliant, and I think like having that kind of broader interest in railways and model railways is really, really key. That sort of level of passion, it definitely shows in your work, and you've been very welcome to the team in just the 4 months that you've been here. So let's talk products then. So some kind of really exciting new tools. I think we'll start with the Class 31, and that's the real reason why we brought you, Sam, which is because you happen to design it. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so the Class 31 has been a project teased for quite some time now, since the very early days of our TT launch, and finally round here now to announce what we've got to show. So we've got a couple of pictures to throw up on the screen of the liveries that we've got coming out, starting off with the original one, and what number is that? D
5502.
That's the one. Yep. So that's got the skin head top, and it's got the head code covered discs on the front and the valance on the buffer beam. And through the life of the Class 31, it had a whole host of changes, and that's what's represented going through the original version to the BR Blue version to the engineers and the rail freight liveries that we've also got coming out. Under the hood is exactly what you'd expect from a TT Hornby diesel model, heavy die-cast chassis, 5-pole motor, HM 7000 ready with Next 18 and speaker, and all-wheel pickup for good smooth running, with 2 flywheels to make it even better. With the 31, we've also got here some small 3D prints. Where's that? On the other camera. Oh, there it is. And these are some 3D prints of 2 of the versions that are in tooling. As you can see, it's actually quite a lot shorter than any of the other TT models diesel models we've produced thus far. So different challenges to go along with that in terms of lighting and functionality, but all good, and it's all come through very nicely.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm very, very excited to see this. I mean, especially off the back of the 37, which has been a really, really successful model. You know, we have learned things along the way with producing TT scale, and I think that, you know, the 37 was definitely a sort of a step upwards in that. So it's quite exciting to see this coming through in around about in about a year's time. Other piece of new tooling, the Black 5. You know, it's something we've been, I would say it feels like the thing we've been probably asked for the most, and you can understand why, obviously, given the popularity of the 5MT and in its kind of real working life. Again, another one of your projects, then?
Well, that's actually one of Phil's projects.
Was it really?
It was, yeah.
Oh,
Phil, who
no,
designed
he's
the
gonna
amazing
kick off
00 model. He also worked on the TT model, so it was quite nice for him to go back and revisit what he'd done before, because he knew so much about the Black 5s being a class of so many. And so he worked through that to make it about 2/3 the size, but whilst keeping as many of the variations as we could possibly achieve within such a small, sort of a small model. So that model has, the tooling suite has 2 die-cast boilers, 4 die-cast footplates, a plethora of accessory parts for steam pipes, cylinder valves, smoke box doors, AWS, 2 sorts of brake versions with double brakes and single brakes, different wheels, wheel weights and with rivets and without rivets, fully detailed cab, circular capped, uncapped top feeds, tall and short chimneys, riveted and unriveted tender bodies, and snow ploughs. So quite a lot from Phil there. He spent a good amount of time doing that. What's great about the Black 5 is with the LMS versions and the BR versions, they can run with both the LMS stock we've got and the BR stock, and freight from the eras that we've produced so far. So yeah, a good versatile engine.
And then more from, I suppose, from your perspective in it, Nick, then obviously the Black 5, why for you was that such a great locomotive to be bringing into the TT range at this stage?
I think it's such a popular model due to its longevity. I think from, you know, its earliest manufacture in the 1930s, you've got the LMS liveried ones, which ran through the big 4 periods, into the BR period as numerous BR liveries that they carried. In the diesel transition era, which was a very popular era to model. The end of steam, a lot of them survived right until the end of steam in kind of weather-worn conditions, started to get withdrawn at that point. But then that wasn't really the end of them then. It was, they have had a distinguished career in preservation, you know, through the 80s, going up to Scotland, doing the Jacobite, etc. A lot of them still run today as well with rail tour operators. And they've covered a lot of ground across the entire network. You know, I've seen them down here in the southeast, and they would never have gone to the southeast in their sort of BR days. Yeah. But it will always be a popular class, and there was also 800 of them, so it was prevalent across the entire network during the BR, and a lot of people have a lot of love for it, I would say.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely kind of agree with that, and I think what's quite exciting as well is that because they ran so late, it will transition so nicely with the diesel era. Because that's something that we have seen in TT, that the diesel era has been really, really important. Which actually then probably is a good time to move on to the onto the new wagons. Yeah, but TT has definitely been a learning curve for us, and you know we had to release a number of models and get them out there into the marketplace, not just to see potentially how something's doing sales-wise, but how sort of what people are feeding back about what they like and what they don't like. And then one of the things we learnt from the diesel thing is that essentially we needed more wagons, which is something we jumped on at the time. And obviously it's great today that we've got the announcement with the HEA, HBA and HMEA family, but also the Sea Cows and the Sea Lions. So again, just reading through the comments on that, they seem to have been very popular so far from people that have been watching the YouTube video, and of course these will pair up very nicely with the diesels. I don't know if you guys got anything to add on those.
Yes, so these on the other camera, you see these are the samples of the sea lion and sea cow and MEA and HBA that arrived just last week. So this is a relatively advanced stage of production at this point, or development. So at this point, the first time we've seen these things run, and they run really well. If you see on particularly on the sea lion and sea cow, the level of detail on the sort of the piping and the wheels, for something of that scale, it's really quite
the
impressive.
etching has come across very well, isn't it? It's not too kind of clunky, is it?
Etched step plates up here, and also die-cast chutes on the underside to give it a nice amount of weight. So the kind of a nice long train full of engineering stock to go with the new 31s. We've got matching liveries for the wagons to go with the other products in the range.
Brilliant stuff. Well, I suppose now will be a good time to really kick off the Q&A part. So we'll take some questions, please.
I'm going to try and put my audio on so that I can
Right.
hear everyone. So Mike's just testing the mic. There we go. A lot of people have been asking about GWR.
Yeah.
And obviously over 3 years now, CT's been around. So a lot of people are asking, when will GWR come into the range? Is there any plans for it?
So the answer is yes, and we have already started looking at GWR and how we are how we're going to approach that. Obviously, we're not announcing anything today, so I'm not going to give you any kind of models, and I'm not going to give any dates. But it is really now the next kind of I think chapter. We've got various kind of projects, if that's the right word, we're going to do it by era or by region that we're kind of looking to go into and to continue developing where we started. But yeah, GWI is going to happen, and maybe in the next video, maybe the one after that, then I think there could be some quite exciting news to come on that. The thing that people always have to remember with GWR is that or with any region really, is it's not just like a one tool or one model thing. You've got to go in there with a series of things. So it's actually quite a big step in respect to kind of resource and get their timing. But I assure you, it is coming.
So Simon H317 asks, will the Class 30 have a different sound file to the 31?
Can we sort the camera out so it's back on us?
Yeah.
No, it's sort of just the models will be. Oh, there we go. Less of my belly being shown on camera now.
Get the complex, are you? Yeah.
Yes, it's.
I'll remind you at lunchtime.
Yeah, I know. Don't eat those extra bag
Yeah.
crisps. So the sound profiles. Obviously, the original Class 30 had the Merley's engines, and the later got changed to the English electric engines. Chris, our sound engineer, is working very hard to determine whether he will be able to produce a separate sound profile, because they obviously are very different engines. So watch this space. I can't make any promises at the moment.
So generally, everyone's really, really happy. Obviously, Black 5 is a very popular one from people at home. People have noticed you might sound a little bit lower, Martin, because you're feeling a bit groggy.
I am ill, yeah. I do apologise. The great news is for you viewers is you cannot catch this through here. These two, on the other hand, have finished.
Far too close.
Yeah, I've got a holiday lurgy I'm fighting. Sorry.
We've got a few people asking about a TT Smoky Joe.
It could happen. The idea, it's been so successful in 00 gauge. Arguably it's probably part of the Hornby history thing. But yeah, I'd never say never on that. I don't expect any time too soon.
So one of the questions that I got asked at a show recently was sort of where you've got so much to choose from with the amount of models that we have in 00. How do you kind of pick what goes into TT as a range?
So I think like the first thing for us is we can learn from what we have done in 00, but it doesn't necessarily have to be something that we've done in 00 as what we do next. It's more about what is right for the market, or what is right for the railway modeller, and there are different kind of things we have to factor in. So we have to factor in, like you guys that joined today, who are sort of already committed, established, or on the journey. So we have to have sort of models that are going to kind of work with the direction in which you're going. But we've also got to think about new people coming in, and that's where obviously new regions or potentially new eras come into play. So there's lots of points of information and source of information that we have, which is kind of like positive noise in a way, in that will support us and lead us in the decisions we make. I think the kind of the reality is that we can't do the stuff quick enough, which is a good problem to have. But you know, there are still so many options, and it is really about just doing them in the exact right order. And double O history, whether it's about knowing how well something's performed or whether it's about us having the design information, that stuff is great, but it doesn't determine that that is what we should definitely do next.
I think I could add to that. I think part of my job is helping you guys in picking new things to do in TT, and I think or I have put together like a plan of items that we could do in TT. I've done like it by era and broken up into like the big four: express locos, tank locos, mixed freight, and I filled in what we've done so far, and basically I've just put together all the things that we haven't done yet, and those are the kind of things that we'll be looking at next.
Yeah.
You know, mixed traffic, 060 tender locos, those something that we haven't done yet. That definitely needs to be something on the cards. Going through kind of into BR days, we've not got like a large tank engine, tank wagon yet, or a metals wagon, or a steel wagon. You know, wood, timber wagons. There's a lot of stuff that needs filling in, and I've come in and kind of put together a plan that hopefully can see us through in the next 10 years, basically.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is there are still so many things to do, and that's what makes it all very exciting.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So everyone's saying cracking announcement, and then I got to talk a bit louder because apparently they can't hear me, so that means my microphone's not working. Where is the Virgin Class 47?
Where is the Virgin Class 47? Well, where is the Class 47, I suppose, is the correct way to answer that. So the 31 or 3031 has come before the 47, and it will happen. We are the design work is pretty much complete, if not complete, on the 47, so that will happen as per our kind of earlier plans. I'm not going to give too much more away about when that will be or what liveries will be, but that always felt like the next loco to do, naturally next in order, so it is coming.
Could we see steam in TT?
As in steam generator?
Yeah.
Well, at the moment you'd say no, because it's not physically possible in that size, but then you can never say never in these sorts of things, because as you realise new technologies, but at the moment we would sadly have to say no.
Will the new J50 and Terriers contain stay-alives to assist HM7000 operation on 6-pin?
At the moment they wouldn't do as a standard, I believe. I think that's an option, especially in the Terrier. We are looking at options around HM7000 and those smaller locos. We are fully aware of how a number of people have had sort of running issues with that. So that's something which Carl and his team are actually working on. We haven't got anything right here now that we can say concrete, which is going to be the sort of definite sort of fix for that. But we've quite well progressed in that. So yeah, apologies for that, and we really appreciate people's kind of patience with that, because HM7000 has been such an important thing for TT, and for some users to have that, the issues of being able to use those particular locomotives on the HM7000, that is a concern to us, and yeah, it's something which we're quite well down the line of working on.
Anything southern in the pipeline?
There are. This comes back to the kind of the regions things, and yeah, it will happen. Whether it happens for GWR or that, then we'll let the people on social media argue and fight about which should come first. But one will have to come first for the two.
Any more 040 locos coming?
Not outside of what we've announced. Nick made a really valid point earlier about the sort of the next size up from that is an area that we've not touched on. it's not all about looking down a list of like ticking off certain locomotives. We also have to look about how people operate and run their layouts and what is potentially kind of quite right for them. And I think that's where potentially going something a little bit bigger would be sort of something with a bit more interest than doing something that small again in the short term.
Cool. Well, that's pretty much it in terms of questions. So is there anything you want to say to anyone at home watching the announcement?
I just well a few things. I mean, first as always, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for staying on board and joining us with TT in general. It's been a very exciting project for Hornby, and it's working really, really well. And we fully appreciate you, and we also really fully appreciate your feedback on things. We do listen to what you guys have to say. We really welcome the idea with you guys obviously chatting on our forums and our social media pages, and also visiting us at shows. So we have one coming up this weekend, Model World Live. So if any of you guys happen to be there, do come along and see the team. So we will be there, and then it's back out to the winter months again for the for the Great Electric Train Show. And the National, and also the event at Gaydon as well. So if you happen to be out and about the travels, do please pop by and see us. And thanks, Johnny, and thanks to the team for joining today and talking through,
No worries.
and thanks to you, Mike, for putting us together.